A judge was interviewing a woman regarding her pending divorce and asked, "What are the grounds for your divorce?" She replied, "About 4 acres and a nice little home in the middle of the property with a stream running by." "No," he said. "I mean, what is the foundation of this case?" "It is made of concrete." "Brick and mortar," she responded. "I mean," he continued, "what are your relations like? I have an aunt and uncle living here in town, and so do my husband's parents." He said, "Do you have a real grudge?" "No," she replied. "We have a 2-car carport and have never really needed one." "Please," he tried again, "is there any infidelity in your marriage?" "Yes, both my son and daughter have stereo sets. We don't necessarily like the music, but the answer to your questions is yes." "Ma'am, does your husband ever beat you up?" "Yes," she responded. "About twice a week he gets up earlier than I do." Finally, in frustration, the judge asked, "Lady, why do you want a divorce?" "Oh, I don't want a divorce," she replied. "I've never wanted a divorce. My husband does. He said he can't communicate with me." Robert, who is 85, married Jenny, a lovely 25-year-old. Since her new husband is so old, Jenny decides that after their wedding she and Robert should have separate bedrooms because she is concerned that her new but aged husband may overexert himself if they spend the entire night together. After the wedding festivities, Jenny prepares herself for bed and the expected knock on the door. Sure enough, the knock comes, the door opens, and there is Robert, her 85-year-old groom, ready for action. They unite as one. All goes well, Robert takes leave of his bride, and she prepares to go to sleep. After a few minutes, Jenny hears another knock on her door, and it's Robert. Again, he is ready for more action. Somewhat surprised, Jenny consents for more coupling. When the newlyweds are done, Robert kisses his bride, bids her a fond goodnight, and leaves. Jenny is set to go to sleep again, but, you guessed it, Robert is back again, rapping on the door, and is as fresh as a 25-year-old, ready for more action. Once more, they enjoy each other. But as Robert gets set to leave again, his young bride says to him, "I am thoroughly impressed that at your age you can perform so well and so often. I have been with guys, less than a third of your age, who were only good once. You are truly a great lover, Robert." Robert, somewhat embarrassed, turns to Jenny and says, "You mean I was here already?" Chester and Earl are going hunting. Chester says to Earl, "I'll send my dog out to see if there are any ducks out in the pond. If there aren't any ducks out there, I'm not going hunting." So he sends the dog out to the pond. The dog comes back and barks twice. Chester says, "Well, I'm not going to go out. He only saw 2 ducks out there." Earl says, "You're going to take the dog's barks for the truth?" Earl doesn't believe it, so he goes to look for himself. When he gets back, he says, "I don't believe it. Where did you get that dog? There really are only 2 ducks out there." Chester says, "Well, I got him from the breeder up the road. If you want, you can get one from him too." So Earl goes to the breeder and says he wants a dog like the one his friend Chester has. The breeder obliges, and Earl brings the dog home, tells it to go out and look for ducks. Minutes later, the dog returns with a stick in its mouth and starts humping Earl's leg. Outraged, Earl takes the dog back to the breeder and says, "This dog is a fraud. I want my money back." The breeder asks Earl what the dog did. So Earl tells him that when he sent the dog out to look for ducks, it came back with a stick in its mouth and started humping his leg. The breeder says, "Earl, all he was trying to tell you was that there are more fucking ducks out there than you can shake a stick at." I was digging in our garden and found a chest full of gold coins. I wanted to run straight home to tell my wife about it. Then I remembered why I was digging in our garden. Two blonde farmers decided to start a chicken farm. They bought some chickens and planted them in the ground, head first. When all the chickens died, the blondes were somewhat confused, but they didn't give up, so they bought more chickens but planted them feet first this time. It took a little longer, but eventually the second batch of chickens died too. They decided to write a letter to the Blonde Agricultural Bureau. In the letter, they explained in detail the procedures they had followed and their disappointing results. A few weeks later, they received a reply from the Bureau. Before we can advise you, please send us a soil sample. A knockout young lady decided she wanted to get rich quick, so she proceeded to find herself a rich 75-year-old man and planned to screw him to death on their wedding night. The courtship and wedding went off without any problem, in spite of the half-century age difference. The first night of her honeymoon, she got undressed and waited for him to come out of the bathroom to come to bed. When he emerged, however, he had nothing on except a condom to cover a 12-inch erection and was carrying a pair of earplugs and a pair of nose plugs. Fearing her plan had gone desperately amiss, she asked, "What are those for?" The elderly groom replied, "There are two things I can't stand: the sound of a woman screaming and the smell of burning rubber." A tourist arrived in Australia, hired a car, and set off for the outback. On his way, he saw a guy having sex with a sheep. Deeply horrified, he pulled up at the nearest bar and ordered a straight Scotch. Just as he was about to throw it back, he saw a guy with one leg masturbating furiously at the bar. "For fuck's sake," the tourist cried, "what the hell's going on here? I've been here 1 hour and I've seen a guy fucking a sheep, and now some guy's jerking himself off in the bar." "Well, mate," the bartender told him, "you can't expect a man with only one leg to catch a sheep." There was a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old brother. It was the 6-year-old's birthday that day. They wake up in the morning, and the 6-year-old says to his younger brother, "Hey, I think today is the day we start using swear words around Mom. After all, I'm 6 now." The younger brother starts getting excited and says, "Og, what swear words should we use?" The older brother replies with, "I'm going to say hell, and you're going to say ass." They both agree and head downstairs to get breakfast. The mom is in the kitchen preparing for the day, and she hears her sons enter the room. She turns to them with a big, heart-warming smile and says, "Good morning. What would you guys like for breakfast? We have Cheerios or cornflakes." The 6-year-old ponders for a bit and then says to his mom, "What the hell? Give me some cornflakes." The mom instantly goes into a rage and drags the older brother all the way back up to his room. She comes back downstairs all flustered and upset to a very wide-eyed 4-year-old. She points at him and says, "What do you want for breakfast?" The younger brother stands there trembling and says, "Well, you can bet your ass it won't be cornflakes."